texting to you is okay, Beth?
Yes, absolutely. Everybody has my number.
Yeah, we got your
On my
number.
phone. Yeah. Doesn't have to have a phone.
I know, it's a bad morning. I left my phone.
Going back to basics.
Jeez.
Okay, so how many of you guys actually have to call on businesses cold? Does anybody do that in their business where they walk in and try to create a relationship? Okay. In my experience, you know, any type of marketing, the first thing you need to know is you need to know what your goal is. And my experience has been, if you have a goal that you're gonna walk in, get an appointment with a decision maker, sit down, do a full presentation, get a check and walk out, you're gonna be incredibly disappointed. And all the times I've done it, that's happened to me. One time where I walked into a small real estate office, the broker actually happened to be sitting at the desk and was on the internet looking at carpet cleaners when I walked in.
Wow.
Good timing,
Yeah.
but only time it's happened. So marketing isn't an event, it's a process, and you have to be prepared for a multi-step process, especially when cold calling, to make it work. Now, the other thing you want to know is, are you targeting geographically or are you targeting industry? If you're targeting specific industries, it's probably better to do this on the phone, otherwise you'll be driving all over town going into industries. I like to target geographically so that I can have everything close to where I'm based out of. So I just tend to walk into businesses, and I'll kind of describe how I do that and what my motivations are. When I walk into a business, I have 3 goals. The number 1 goal I have is for that person at the desk, the gatekeeper, the receptionist, the front desk person, whoever they are, to like me. And I see a lot of trainings that train you on how to get past the gatekeeper. That to me is insane. The gatekeeper at this point in time is the most important person in that business to you. The gatekeeper is going to decide if you're going to leave information, they're going to decide if they're going to give the information to the person who matters, and they're going to decide what they say about you when they hand them that information. Is it going to be, hey, this guy dropped it off, if I were you, I'd throw it in the trash, he was a jerk? Or, hey, this guy was really cool, you should take a look at what he dropped off for you. That matters. The gatekeeper actually has a lot of influence with the decision makers in the business. That's why they're the front person of the company. So that's my first goal, is for them to like me. Goal number 2 is only for me to leave information. I'm not trying to make a sale, I'm not trying to get an appointment, I want to leave information. And then the third goal I have is to get the name of the decision maker and the name of the gatekeeper before I leave. Those are the only 3 things I try to accomplish when I walk into the business for the first time. Now, when I actually do that, and I don't have a specific script, I have bullet points that I make sure I cover. It's a little bit different with each time. But one of the things that I'll do, you guys probably see all the time the no soliciting signs on the front door before you walk in. I love those because it gives me a really easy opening line to break the ice and to start the presentation. And all I'll say when I walk into a business and there's a no soliciting sign, I'll say something along the lines of, hey, I'm Travis Michelson with Integrity Cleaning Systems. We specialize in working with small business owners. Just so you know, I did see the no soliciting sign. I'm in no way trying to sell you anything today. And then I'll pause and I'll let them respond. You always want to engage them, get them talking back to you, as opposed to just a long script where you're just sitting there babbling the whole time and they start to zone out. When I get a telemarketing call, if they haven't asked me a question within 45 seconds, I just hang up. I won't even listen to them anymore. They didn't care enough to have me talk back. So I'll pause there and I'll let them say, okay, or good, or something like that, which is typically what they say, but it overcomes the initial objection before they even give it to you, which is your goal there, is to overcome that objection up front. Then after that, I'll say something like, we specialize in commercial carpet, tile, and grout, and upholstery cleaning. The only thing I would like to do is leave some information for you about how my company can benefit yours. That's the only goal there. Now there's a couple of psychology things in the way I said that. I want to get permission. Again, that's letting the gatekeeper know that I value them. They have the authority to give me permission to do something. That's part of creating them liking me. And then I want to leave information. Another part of the psychology there is, you guys have probably heard this before in sales, you want to get easy yeses first, because easy yeses build up to bigger yeses. So by simply asking, can I leave information, that's an easy yes. Even if they're just trying to get rid of you, it's an easy yes. The next part is key. When I walk in, I'll walk in with a goodie bag like this. Now, because mine's about carpet business, I have one of my consumer guys in here. I've got a bottle of Spotter and typically a bag of Skittles, because they don't melt in my car. And there's M&Ms don't work very well. I don't care if they say they don't melt in your hands, they do melt in 115-degree cars. But when they say yes, at that point, I'll actually pull this out, and this is kind of where I assume the close, and it's how I get the decision maker's name. I'll pull this out, put my pin to it, and I'll say, who should I address this to? I won't ask, that's all I say, who should I address this to? And it kind of makes sense. If I'm going to leave something for somebody, I should know who it is. They already gave me permission to leave it, so it makes sense I should know who I'm leaving it for. I've never had anybody not give me a name at this point.
Yeah.
The only thing I've ever ran into that caused a problem is if that person's not in the building. If they're in a different office or sometimes even a different state, that gets a little bit tricky. Then you got to deal with, well, still who is it, but you got to mail them something as opposed to leaving the goodie bag with them. But that gives you access to their name. Then I'll write the name on it, I'll put it back in the bag, I'll hand it to them, I'll say, by the way, does whoever it is have a card? If they don't have one right there, there's always a company card. I'll just take that, write the name on the back of the card, and before I leave, if the gatekeeper did not give me their name, I'll always turn around, or before I turn around, I'll say, and what was your name? And they'll say Bev or Damon or whoever it is, and I'll say, thanks Damon, it was great to meet you, have a good day. Again, valuing that gatekeeper, knowing their name, and you're also going to use that in the next step of the marketing. So that's all I do when I walk in. Like I said, the whole purpose of that is just to leave the information and to get the names of the people I need to talk to. I then have a 3-step letter approach where it breaks down into 3 marketing categories. A headline statement, and in each of my letters, I will headline a different service. One of the letters will talk about the carpet cleaning, one of the letters talks about tile cleaning. Now that I'm getting into the Slip Safe tile product line, one of the letters I'll design will talk about that. You want a power headline statement, and I don't know why this is, but it's been shown through study from a psychology standpoint that when they read the headline statement, where do you think the next thing they look at is? What?
Bottom.
Bottom, yeah. They go immediately to the bottom. Who sent me this? I don't care about my name, but what you want underneath that name is a PS statement. And what the PS statement will say is something like, I'm going to give you a call on this date at this time to discuss, and in the body of the letter, you're always going to make a free offer. I'll come out and do a free insurance review, I'll do a free carpet cleaning demo, a free Slip Safe tile demo, I'll bring out some free samples of carpet, whatever your industry is. But you let them know in the PS statement, I'm going to call you on this date, at this time, to talk to you about whatever you're giving them as a free giveaway. Now the reason you want to do that is because then it's going to make them more likely to read the body. Well, if somebody's going to be calling me, I better know what it's about. And you actually get more people reading the copy when you do it that way. And by the way, this technique I learned from a book called Selling to Vito, which Vito's very important top officers. It's a really good book, and he outlines how to put together all of these letters. Then in the body of the content is just your chance to explain benefits. Benefits. How are you going to benefit them? What are your systems that's going to benefit them? How are you better than your competition? Don't spend a lot of time on features, truck mounted cleaning. They don't care. They care about clean carpets. Now, oftentimes when you call them, they're still not going to, oh, and the last thing I'll put in that PS statement, this is why you want to get the gatekeeper's name. This is very important. I can't believe I almost forgot it. Underneath, you put, I'm going to call you on such and such a time, such a date to discuss this. If you are not available, please have Damon, if that was the name of the gatekeeper, let me know a better time to call you. Because again, now you're giving the concept that you know their company, you know their people, you're making it personal to that business, and it's going to open their eyes and go, wow, this person knows what they're doing. So that's where you come back into using the name of the person at the front desk, and that's why you wanted their name. Now, if they don't answer it, leave them a voicemail. Hey, this is Travis. I said I'd call you this time. I know you're probably busy. I'm going to try you again next week, or you can call me in the interim. Here's my number. Boom, next day, second letter goes out. Same exact thing. Different headline, same PS statement. New time I'm going to call them. New body based on whatever services I'm talking about in that letter. And I will do this 3 or 4 times. And if I never get them and they never call back after about the 4th time, I probably will let them go and I'll just put them on my email list and email them newsletters. And at some point in the future, they may call. But it's actually a really effective way of getting in the front door. It shows your professionalism, it shows your follow through, it shows you know their industry and you cared enough to go through all these steps. So that's how I do it. It works well for me. I don't know if it worked for your industry, but any questions on that?
I got more. Oh, go ahead. No, I got more of a statement because in our industry, I don't know, Roseanne, if you've had any difference, and Jack, I don't know, you're kind of similar there. If you've had anything, but leaving something for, like with me, leaving something for the guys because it's not, I don't have a product, I have an idea to help them. No chance, absolutely no chance they'll call me back. I think maybe in all the years I've been doing this, I might have had half a dozen people call me back when because I've tried it.
Right.
But I understand in your industry it's a little different, because you leave a brochure stating, well, here's this, and this is what we're gonna do for you. I can't really do that because I don't know what I can do for them until I talk to them and find out what I can do to help them. So I have to, my whole point in the cold calling is just to find out who I have to talk to and what way I can do that.
Right.
So
Now-
the leaving thing does not work in my industry.
And what I would say to that, and I don't know your industry, so you may be 100% right. I don't get a lot of people calling me based on just the package I drop off. That's just the way that I get their name to begin with, so that I can approach them.
Okay,
So
that's
it
what I
gives
was-
me the ability to get the name. Now, I think there are things that you could design from a content standpoint that could add value to them, show yourself as an expert in the industry, and then when you call them back, schedule the appointment. But yeah, you're not, I said I've only had one person ever buy on the spot when I walked in. I probably had 3 other companies call me based on what I left and schedule an appointment. Everything else has been because I followed up with them.
That's, okay.
Okay.
That makes more sense.
Best things work for me. No, I was just gonna say, Greg, best things works for me is donuts.
Donuts, yeah. Yeah. I probably wouldn't bring in a full box just when I'm dropping something off, but when I do a meeting with them, like I'm presenting to a real estate office, yeah, donuts. And always buy the good ones.
Lamar.
Yeah, don't go get the cheap stale ones, you'll tick them off. But go to Krispy Kreme or something and bring in good donuts. And I've actually had people comment, you brought in better donuts than the last guy. It's like, okay.
That's all.
That's right.
Any other questions based on that, or?